Hi loves, welcome back to another video. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. So today I actually wanted to do like a chit chat, do my hair with me. I guess it's kind of like a get ready with me. And I kind of wanted to talk about some of the things that I wish I knew before starting my natural hair journey, and maybe these things can actually help you. I have been seeing a lot of comments on a lot of questions regarding my natural hair journey, and I feel like I haven't done an updated video in a very long time because, believe it or not, as I go through my natural hair journey, I know that I've accomplished so much with my hair. I do feel that I learn more and more things along the way. I feel like it's kind of a constant journey of learning because what I used to think last year is not the same thing that I think this year. So I figured I'd tap into that today and talk about it with you guys as I style my hair. And I'm also going to be trying some new products. Not a lot of new products, but a new product. So I have a deep conditioner in my hair that I've had in my hair for about, I want to say like 5-6 hours. I know it's kind of ridiculous. I typically don't do this, but I'm kind of behind right now on Curlsmas. I'm normally like ahead of the game, but I'm like filming as I go. So it's going crazy right now. Like life is going crazy. And everything has just been so back to back that, you know, collabs when it comes to brand partnerships, emails, and just a lot. Life is just lifing right now. So with that said, I am just all over the place, but we're gonna catch up because we always catch up. Let me go ahead and rinse out this deep conditioner and then we'll come back and chat. So BRB. Okay, you guys, so I actually had the Sulfates Ambunu mask. It's a long name for the mask, but I just had that in my hair. My curls are so hydrated and soft right now, and I kept it in for way too long, but it's all good. So the new products we're going to be trying out is one that I actually got sent from Cantu. I know a lot of you guys are like anti-Cantu, but like I said in a few videos ago, that I personally don't have a negative experience with this brand, so I can't say like, oh, forget that product, forget this, if I haven't had anything personally happen to me. So I've always been a fan of Cantu. I don't use like all of their products all the time, but I do have my fair share of my favorite fews. So they actually sent me some PR and sent me the newly improved formula for their Argan Leave-In Conditioning Repair Cream. I don't know what the other one had that wasn't, you know, I guess up to par, but they newly formulated it. It has a new look, I know that. Like the look is definitely different. And it says it moisturizes, protects, and helps strengthen your strands to minimize breakage. It helps add shine and elasticity. So we're gonna try this today. I did already the little test with the Wetline Extreme Gel and it mixes well. So this is what it looks like. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's like very creamy and looks like a little may go a long way. And that might be too much, but we are going to just be adding it to the perimeter of our hair and then going from there. I feel like the scent still smells the same. I also haven't used this product in a while, so I don't know if they've newly formulated it multiple times and I've just never noticed. I want to say it's been over a few years, like a little over 2 years since I've tried that particular product. So I'm going to grab about the same amount to this side and just apply it to the perimeter. I'm going to go ahead and brush it through as well. So yeah, I did want to talk about what I wish I knew before starting my natural hair journey and what I possibly would have done differently with the information that I know now. Actually, I'll take that statement back. I don't wish I did anything differently because the reason I did things the way I did is because I did them the way I did, and I wouldn't change how I went about things. I feel that everything that I had to deal with in my natural hair journey brought me to where I'm at now. So, for example, I always say that my hair taught me patience. And I think that's probably the #1 key to going through a natural hair journey and any journey in general is to have patience. And that's something that I'm still learning with every other aspect of my life, but I've already learned that with my hair. So in life, I feel like we tend to want to just get to the result. Like we just want answers. We just want it to work. And I mean, even though what's crazy about this is that even though if it comes to our hair, it comes to our weight, even though those things that we want to change possibly happened overnight or maybe over the course of a week, you know, heat damage can happen instantly. So even though, hold on, let me get my brush. So even though we say good things, you know, if you want something, it doesn't happen overnight, you got to work for it. You know, sometimes it's a frustrating concept because a lot of these things that we wish to fix actually happen overnight. Like for me, for example, for me, other than my hair, gaining weight for me, I can, no joke, can probably take me about a week. Not even, maybe less. So for those who have like been struggling with their, you know, weight loss and all of that, I can definitely see, and I'm a walking testimony about how frustrating it could be, because it's kind of like, damn, all I did was spend a week on vacation and this is what happened, you know? But at the end of the day, it wasn't overnight. Anyway, so point of the patience. Patience is always going to be key when it comes to getting through anything in life, and in particularly your natural hair journey. So I wish that I had the same patience that I have now when I decided to start my journey, because here's the thing. Your hair is going to be very frustrating. Till this day, I have healthy hair, guys, and I get frustrated. There are days where I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? You put in all this effort to condition it and to deep condition, to steam it. You do the most. Let me tell you, you guys know I do the most. And there are days that my hair just doesn't turn out the way I want it to turn out, and it looks crazy. And it's just like, yo, I'm 2 seconds from cutting you off. Like, I'm just 2 seconds from cutting you off. I am 2 seconds from grabbing, you know, a heating tool. Yeah, even I have days where I'm ready to chop my hair off. Like, I'm ready to just, we're done here, like, you're done. And, you know, obviously I'm not gonna do that because I've worked really hard to get to this point. But with that said, you have to just, whenever you have moments of stress and you're anxious and you're like, what is going on with my hair? It's always important to think about why you started your journey to begin with. Like, why are you here? What made you decide to commit to this journey? Like, why are you here? I think that whenever you sit and ask yourself these questions, it helps you. And before, I wouldn't think any of that. What I would just do is just do exactly what I said I was gonna do. I would never chop it. But I would grab my flat iron or I'd grab a blow dryer and I'm like, this is not it. And I think sometimes we just have to be patient. And I think the cause of us not being patient is my next point. Sorry, I'm opening a new Wetline Extreme Gel. Of course, it's like such an oddly satisfying feeling to open a brand new Wetline Extreme Gel. But that brings my next point is we are impatient because we're sitting here comparing our journeys to other people. And just like with everything in life, comparison is the biggest thief of joy. And that was one of the biggest thieves of joy for me during my journey, because whenever I thought I was making progress, I was like, damn, look at that person, like look at their hair. And that shouldn't be the case. Like, it really should not be the case. And you should not do that, like, at all. I've caught myself doing that mainly in the past. I don't do that anymore now, and when I catch myself doing it, I catch myself doing it. So it's easy to stop me in my tracks. Like, we're human. It's only natural to want to compare yourself to other people that you admire or other people that essentially you look up to. But that takes away so much from your own accomplishments. Like in the past, like this would be my thing. Like, this is for example. In the past, I'd be like, oh my God, I deep conditioned every week this month. And for someone who, you know, who came from a background of like deep conditioning like every so often, like that's a big deal. That is a huge deal, and that's something that should be celebrated. But then you'll go on Instagram and you'll see someone with like the perfect curls. You're like, damn, but my hair doesn't look like that. And it's so easy to do that. But I think it's all about shifting your mindset on that. And you should just look at influencers or look at your curl goals as just that. That should be in your own way. Because as much as you're like, oh my God, we have the same hair, we have the same hair, there's always going to be something about the other person's hair that you're going to want more, and you're going to stop appreciating your own. And I've caught myself doing that so many times, like so many times. And it's sad because when you look back at it, you're like, damn, like I should have really taken more time to like really appreciate my journey and really like, I don't know. I feel like now that I'm in it and I've gotten to, you know, essentially where I want to be, I don't know what else is in store for what my goals are for my hair. I'm kind of just letting my hair do its thing. But what I can say is all the curl goals that I screenshotted, because I remember I made a video back when, I want to say I think my last Curlsmas, where one of my suggestions to starting your natural hair journey was to go on Pinterest and find people with hair similar to yours. And I would save the pin, so whenever you felt defeated and you were like, ugh, I don't want to do this anymore, so that you looked back at that person that is your curl goals and remind yourself why you're starting and what your end goal is. So for me, that was always the thing. Like I always screenshotted random people. And what's funny is that a lot of those people that I screenshotted are people that I currently follow and follow me back now. So it's actually kind of like a full circle moment, essentially. But not the point. Nails are clumping nicely. I don't feel anything like too dramatic. I feel like they're clumping nice. Look good so far. So we're gonna keep working through it throughout our hair. But what I can honestly say is I've gotten to a point where I don't have curl goals. Like I'm my own curl goals. And I remember always saying throughout my journey is that my goal throughout this whole thing is to be my own curl goals. Like I don't want, because I know I've always loved my hair, but I never loved my hair natural. So growing up, like I do my wash and goes without sectioning my hair. Like I would literally just apply products like on the perimeter. Meanwhile, all of this has no products, and I go about my merry way that way. A mess. Another thing that I wish I knew back then that I know now and I live by now is something that I currently always enforce in my videos, is to take advice, but don't take it literally. And what I mean by that is do what works best for you. Don't go and see, you know, for example, like don't use me, for example, and try everything that I do. And if it doesn't work, you're like, let me just keep doing it till it works for me. It's like, no, if it didn't work for you that first time, probably won't work for you the second time. Unless it was like a technical issue, like you didn't style it properly, like something along the lines of that. The amount of times that I've hopped on trends just because it was what was in is hilarious. Like that video that I said things you should not be doing if you have low porosity hair. First of all, I didn't even know I had low porosity hair. I was just like, I think my hair is normal porosity. I think I just have frizzy hair. So I'm just gonna keep, you know, I'm gonna keep adding moisturizing products to my hair, rinse my hair with cold water, avoid silicones at all costs because silicones are so bad for you. And just, I used to follow everything word for word. I didn't know any better. I didn't think to go online and do my own research. Like when you're going through your journey, you are desperate. You're just trying to do whatever works. Like if it worked for them, you're like, it's probably gonna work for me. Another thing I wish I knew that kind of piggybacks off of what I just said was, I wish I listened to my hair more. Like there have been moments where I've done protein treatments or I've done like treatments that my hair just wasn't a fan of, or like DIY masks for me. I don't do them often because my hair doesn't really like them. Like I've seen so many people do, I've done one. There's one that I have on my channel that actually works for me, but I don't DIY often because my hair just doesn't react well to a lot of DIYs. I don't know why. I think my hair just likes the extra chemicals and all the extraness, or my hair is just a little bougie. She doesn't like homemade things. I've learned that along the way, but even then I would still try different masks. Every single time I'm like, oh, I'm gonna keep doing it until it feels soft, and I'm like, that's not how that works. Like it does not work like that. One thing that I did a lot in my natural hair journey was start and stop. And it's gonna go back to the comparison thing. You have to just realize that it's your journey and everybody's journey is different. And I know it sounds very, very cliche, but I wish I was more okay with that. Like you need to become okay with that. You have to be okay with seeing that someone may have started when you started. They may have cut their hair when you started. and their growth is ridiculously longer than your hair. You have to be okay with that. Sometimes it's frustrating. It is frustrating, and that goes back to the comparison. But I guarantee if you were to sit and actually compare how your hair was back then versus how it is now, it's probably a drastic change. And I'm gonna do a whole hair growth video for me because I do get that often about, I started when you started, but your hair is so much longer than mine. One thing that I will emphasize is that hair growth, a lot of it has to do with genetics. A lot of it has to do with genetics. I feel like everyone's always had that friend that would cut their hair at the beginning of the school year in September. They would go and get a bob. And then you'll see in June, their hair is all the way down here again. Genetics just has a lot to do with it. Of course, their maintenance, their regimen, that all has a lot to do with it as well. But like, you can't sit there and take away from yourself just because one person has what you essentially want or think you want. Let's talk about this because it's done. I literally spoke throughout the entire styling process. I am so annoying. All right, so this is what it looks like. I'm not mad at this. My camera's also blinking and telling me that my battery's about to die, so we're gonna definitely have to get back to this conversation. Let me go ahead and dry my hair and I'll be right back and we're gonna finish up this combo. It is literally a 30-minute video so far, so I'm a little nervous. Hopefully it's not that long, but I know a lot of you guys like to hear me speak, so let me go ahead and dry my hair. I'll show you guys more of my wet results. And then I will be right back once you guys see this. Okay guys, so here are my dry results. Freshly diffused. I put a little makeup on, same makeup routine that I filmed in my previous makeup video, so check it out if you haven't seen it yet. This is like my go-to like filming makeup because it's easy, it's quick, and it's like super full coverage, so it makes me look airbrushed on camera, I feel. I mean, maybe I just feel that way, but I feel like it gives me a good, like, you know? So I just turned off one of the lights because I feel like I had a lot going on and you couldn't really see my hair, but I think with this lighting you can kind of see a little better. No, I mean, definition looks really good, so I can't even sit and say it's frizzy, but there are certain areas, like up here, do you guys see that? There's a little bit of frizz, but it's not the end of the world frizz, it's like still fine. I do feel that it does do a good job at keeping the definition, and there's a lot of moisture going on here, and it's a little bit more flat than what I'm used to, so maybe it will last me. I think I'm just talking some talk, but it's very pretty. Definitely something to note about this leave-in is that I barely used any, and I still feel like I used a lot. So it's definitely one of those a little goes a long way products because I use a lot. And this comes with 16 ounces, and I will go ahead and add the price as well to this video. I will add all the details on where you can find it. I'll add the links down below so you guys can check it out if you're interested. But if you are a fan of Cantu, this is definitely apparently a new formula, so it's I'd say it's worth trying because I mean, I don't know what the difference is. I don't remember the other one being bad. Maybe they just added some I don't know what they added. They didn't specify exactly what they changed about it, but overall it feels nice. I can't complain. But like I was saying in the previous video, I don't remember exactly what I left off saying, but the point of where I was trying to go with that is that if you are somebody who has thought about starting a Instagram page or something to help support the natural hair community, and you may or may not have the curls of your dreams at the moment, I did not start with the curl of my dreams. I started with heat damage, first of all, in the center of my hair, and it wasn't until I was called out by my followers that I decided to actually commit to a big chop. So when influencers say like, oh, the first thing you need to do is just start, but that is really the key to getting anywhere. It's just starting. You don't have to have the best cameras, you don't have to have the best anything, just start. And especially if your intentions are pure for what you're doing, you will do well. If you're consistent and your intentions are pure, like if you're in this for the money, I don't feel like it's gonna go as well for you. But if you're someone who is really just trying to educate people on how to care for their hair, if you feel like you're someone in the natural hair community that, you know, is not represented, then I think that this is the great place to start. Start by creating informative content that you know can help people, because I always say, I always try to be the influencer that I wish I had when I started my natural hair journey, which is why I feel that my videos may be a little chatty and my videos might be a little repetitive sometimes, but I feel like sometimes I needed that when I was going through my journey. So if you see that, call me out on it too. But I know a lot of you guys do like it. A lot of you guys do like to see my favorites, and you guys like to see what works best for me. I wish I had a me back then. So that's why I'm always gonna try to be like the big sister on this platform, where if you guys have any questions, if you guys have anything in particular that you need help with, like, I'm so happy to make a video for you guys, because the worst thing is just not knowing. But the good thing is that there's a lot of resources now. Like, I'm not the only curly girl on YouTube. There's plenty and very, very, very educated curly girls on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Like, they're everywhere. We're everywhere. So that's the good thing, is that now there's an abundance of us. Before, there was like 4 or 5 that were great, that at least we saw that were great because they were similar to our hair type, and then that's all. So there was no like in-betweens where I'm like, oh, that's my hair. It was more like, oh, she's closest to my hair, so I'll follow that. And that's not how it should go, because in my mind, I wasn't thinking, oh, her porosity might be different, oh, her density might be different. Like, a lot of these things that you should question, I wasn't questioning. And they weren't also on that either. I feel like they also have learned as they, you know, went, because I'm sure if they would have known about density and all of that, they would have made videos on it. But they obviously eventually did. But it's one of those things where, like, experience is what teaches you these things. You know, you have to go through it to get through it. And I think that we've obviously evolved as a whole. I love the direction that the curly hair community is going, in the sense where people are just doing things that work better for them. People are not just following one method. People are not just doing one thing because it works. Like, people are just doing whatever works. You know, it's not like specific to one thing. So I do like that. I do know that a lot of people say that this community could be toxic, but I do think you choose what you want to surround yourself with, and you choose who you want to communicate with and who you want to associate yourself with. You have full control over it. You know, people can say what they want. People can try to be mean and mischievous and just not nice, but you tolerate what you want to tolerate. You could cut off who you want to cut off. Like, that's the beauty of being human. You could do whatever the hell you want. And on these platforms too, if you don't agree with something, you don't have to comment. You could just go on your merry way. So I've learned to surround myself around the community that I want to be surrounded around, and the toxic stuff can go stay in the toxic stuff. And that's why I'm so unaware of all the toxicity that happens in the curly world, because I'm not involved. Like, I don't care about that. Like, I don't care to add to it. I don't care to be around it. Like, they can stay over there. Another video kind of tapping into all the influencer type deals that you guys definitely have questions about. If you guys have any particular questions on influencing, comment them down below so I can compile like a list of questions and I could make the perfect video for you guys. But yeah, so that's all for today's video. I hope you guys liked getting ready with me and just having a little chit chat. I don't even know what I even talked about. I feel like I talked about so many different things as I normally do. Like, I just talk so much that I don't even know what I said. But I hope it was helpful. Comment again down below if you have any questions in particular that you want me to answer. I'm super happy to do that for you guys. We are halfway through Curlsmas. This flew by very quickly, but I expected that. But yeah, so that's all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.